What Would You Make is a collaboration with hosts OK at Home DIY and Connie's Creative Creations. The guest host is DIY from House to Home. OK at Home DIY loves to decorate her home to make it feel comforting and welcoming. Her DIYs are lovely and she is such a sweet person. Connie does a lot of wonderful collaborations and is almost at 3,000 subscribers. Help her achieve her goal by her birthday on July 23rd. DIY from House to Home loves to create tiered trays and signs. She has a wonderful channel and is super creative. Check out their channels and subscribe, like, save, and comment. Also, there are other great collaborators in this challenge. Show them some love too. The supplies needed for this bedside trinket tray DIY include shadow box picture frame, and this was found at Free Friday, peel and stick cork, painter's tape, chipboard, cutting board, 4 tumbling tower blocks, 4 skewers, some cane, reptile adhesive, hot glue, and a mini saw or equivalent. Now this is made, I would say, 99% from wood. So let's jump into how to make it. Well, this frame was originally $4, but I got it free on Free Fridays in a particular town. It had a hard clay-like plaque in the middle of the frame with green grapes on it. I removed the glass and the plaque with the grapes and set it aside. You never know, I might use it later. The hanger in back of the frame was also removed, and since the frame was in good shape, I did not have to paint it, but if I did, I probably would just use black acrylic paint if needed. I cut a piece of cane and used the backing from the grape plaque as a template to put over the cane, to measure to see the amount of cane that would need to be placed in the shadow box. Painter's tape was used to hold the glass cane and backing in place as I put it in. I measured and put a piece of cork that was placed over the entire back to hide the tape. 2 pieces of cork were cut because I didn't have enough cork for one solid piece, but that would look best. But hey, who's going to look at the bottom? If you do, well, oh well. So that would cover the back of the frame. The frame is 11 by 9 and 3.5 inches deep. So that was nice. I love that part because you could put your watch, your cell phone, and your glasses, if you wear them, into the tray. Now there was a ridge on the side where the glass originally was held. So I was like, no, I can't have that. It's got to have a nice finished look. So I took some skewers, I cut them with my mini saw, and the cool thing about the mini saw is that you can angle it to have mitered edges. So I cut 4 of them, and I cut them just a little bit bigger so that they would fit tight into the grooves, and I really didn't have to use any glue. And if they came out, then I would just glue them. I flipped the tray over and I glued tumbling tower block on each corner with reptile adhesive. It dried and I styled it several ways. So you could see how you can use it and where it would be useful. It especially looks great on the bedside stand. And I have not seen anything like this, so I guess you could say it is an original. I have seen these bedside trays in a lot of high-end stores and also in the big box store. They are very useful. I like to make things that are useful, and tell me what you think about it. DIY number 2 is a mini riser I made using Dollar Tree supplies. The supplies needed include 4 wooden beads that are large and 12 that are small. A jot stencil, this is from Dollar Tree. 3 wooden puzzles, also from Dollar Tree. And then I took some watered down brown acrylic paint for the stencil and some wood glue. So because I made this some time ago, all of the footage for this I do not have, but I can show you the pieces and show you how it's put together. So the first thing that you want to do is empty the puzzle pieces from all 3 of the wooden rectangle pieces. And there are stars, squares, and circles in there. So I took 2 of the wooden pieces after I had emptied them of their stars and squares and glued them together. And that was right side to right side. And that was so you could not see the indentation where the puzzle pieces were supposed to go. After I did that, I glued the small beads around the inside of the 2 wooden pieces that were glued right side to right side. So the indentation parts are glued together. Then I glued 4 beads on each side. So anywhere that you look on this piece, you will see 4 beads. So there's 12 altogether. Then I placed the last wooden puzzle piece upside down on top of the beads and glued those with your wood glue. Then you can place your stencil on the top piece, and this is where I use the watered down acrylic paint for the design chosen and let it dry. Now I will have to tell you, the wood is very porous, this particular type of wood, and so you may want to Mod Podge it before you use the stencil. Also, you may consider using another type of stencil. I use Dollar Tree stencil. The reason why you don't see the stencil is because once I used it, it was no good. You cannot use these stencils more than once. After I had put the stencil on and it was all completed, I put the large beads on all 4 corners and then I styled it. This resides in my kitchen with oils that are frequently used. So now stay tuned for what I will do with the puzzle pieces in a future video. I do have those, and I do have something in mind that is kind of cool. So keep watching. On to DIY number 3. This is another riser, but for a plant. The supplies needed for this DIY project include 1 wood round from Dollar Tree and 3 wooden snake tails. You can remember a previous what would you make? I used every bit of the snake. White acrylic paint, stencil, chalk couture paint color in Ocean Mist, some filler, and painter's tape. Now Dollar Tree stencils are not sturdy, so this one is pretty much a one and done. See, I started by taking a wood round and filled in the hole that held the jute. After it was dry, I sanded it and painted it white. Then I put the stencil on top, and I love this stencil, but I used Ocean Mist chalk couture paint to fill it in, and I think it looked a lot better. I like the pattern, and I think it turned out well. And I'm, still learning how to use the paint. Now let's put the legs on the riser. I used the leftover snake tails that I had on another What Would You Make project. Painter's tape was used to cover the top part of the legs, and the bottom part of the legs were painted white. After removing the tape, I thought it looked pretty high end. I flipped it over and glued the legs to the bottom. Of course, I had to sand the legs and make sure they were fairly even. and I think I did okay. You put your plant on top and you have a great looking riser. I used a Dollar Tree round vase that I sprayed blue, and I did this about a year ago, so I don't have that footage of the spraying, but you just spray paint it on there. You can also paint it with chalk paint to make it look a little ancient and put some dirt on it like what everyone is doing. I will try that in the future. Sounds exciting. And I put some succulents inside, and you have a nice, cute vibe. So thanks for watching, and remember, please subscribe, like, save, and comment. I would love to have you to join the Z9 Designs family. And tell your families and friends about my channel, and let's see if we can make some progress. I'm heading to 600, and I would like to get there before the end of June. And remember, choosing kindness and laughing often, you may live longer. Well, that's all, family. See you later. Bye-bye.